Hi.
You're muted.
Oh, hey, we're live, everybody. Thanks for telling me that. Yeah, hey, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody in chat. I see a whole bunch of new faces and some familiar friends as well. Awesome. Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So I'm Reed. I'll be the DM for today, and we're doing 12 nights in Barovia. As if things couldn't get worse. We're spending what may be the winter festivities in Barovia. So...
Is that better or worse than quarantine?
What could go wrong?
I've never been to Barovia in real life. But the thing I will tell you is that it's always foggy in Barovia, except when it's not. And when it's not, it's a portent of very, very, very scary things to come. So, one at a time, starting with Bran, then Marissa, then Alfonso, then Caleb, then Anna. If I could have you just introduce yourselves as well as your characters, and what people would see if they saw your character in real life.
All right. Hi, I'm Bran. I will be playing Metis Rumflower. He's a tiefling swarmkeeper ranger. More of a rusty color to his pallor with leathers of browns and very tree-like colors. Within his coats and layers are various hives of bees. There to do his bidding, there to be his friends, and there to just generally help him along his way.
Okay.
I am Marissa, and I will be playing Drasilia Suthrasis, and she is a high elf sorcerer. She is pale, has black eyes, and flaming red hair, and she is in red sorcerer robes.
Ooh, red sorcerer robes. Okay. How Barovian appropriate. Alfonso.
Hey, my name is Alfonso, and I will be playing Stottle, who is a Tortle monk.
Okay. Keep going.
5'11", green skin, big brown eyes, and a nice, pretty shell.
A nice, pretty shell.
Yeah.
It's like candy coated, right?
Hair candy coated. Makes everybody think he's sweet.
Okay. Okay. Caleb.
I'm Caleb. I will be playing Torgorn, Oakfist, who is a average height dwarf with a bark brown beard, inside which there's a number of paper folded butterflies from his compatriot Pretzel, the Sprite.
Okay. Pretzel the Sprite. Always a treat to see Pretzel there doing Pretzel's magic pretzel stuff. All right. And finally, Anna.
Hi, I'm Anna. I will be playing a half-elf assassin rogue today named Estena. Just basically medium height, light brown hair, hazel eyes, very nondescript. Helps her out when she's trying to deal death from the shadows to look inconspicuous.
As inconspicuous as a half-elf can look.
As inconspicuous as a half-elf can look. The pointy ears do sometimes they're a bit of a distinctive trait, yeah.
Okay. So, let us begin your story, shall we? It starts, well, one night as you were out and about exploring some areas, you went, well, to look for a site to bed down for the night, only to be walking into the darkest, foggiest woods you've ever walked through in your life on your expedition. At some point, you found a place to bed down. When you woke up, the grayest, most depressing fog surrounds you once again, and in the woods you've been. Cold. Not frozen, but certainly chill. Every night for the past 6 nights, you've walked through these woods trying to find your way out. Finally, on the 7th day, you stumbled out of the woods, tired, hungry, and at the edge of the woods you see what looks to be a small village of tightly packed houses, a few large manors, and, well, what looks like farm fields surrounding it. It's just a mile or so down the way, and in the process, you start looking around. The damp chill has almost cut you to the bone, and yet somehow it seemed to get colder today. As you walk around, you saw frost on the grass this morning. An icy dew clings to that grass now this morning. The weather is turning colder. And, well, as you start to stumble forward along what looks to be the grassy fields, you finally find a well-worn trail that looks like it heads towards the village. On your way into the village, as you're obviously on alert looking around because you have no idea where you are, and these houses look, well, they don't look like anything you ever saw in Faerun before. They're different somehow. The style, the many different icons of skulls and other things throughout. Ravens everywhere. And, well, the strangest part is you're seeing people working the fields, but they're working at a pace you've never seen farmers work before. It appears that they're like racing. There's something frantic that they have to get ahead of. And you're even seeing people who look like they're eager to get crops out of the ground. It's nothing you've ever seen before. As you walk further and further in to the village, you see people quickly spinning flax and wool to get it spun, like at a maddening pace, and you hear them murmuring, "I've got to get it done. I've got to get it done. The light may be coming. I've got to get it done." Further on, you see people running with sacks of grain toward the windmill that grinds it in the distance. And you're seeing, well, what little industry in this town you can see so far appears to be working on a deadline. Other people you see at the local blacksmith shop appear to be scraping up metal filings and melting them back together to make sure that none gets wasted. None gets wasted. You've just made it inside the main town. People are walking around hurriedly. They do notice your presence because you don't belong here. You're not a local. And it appears they kind of keep a wide berth. What do you wish to try to do?
I look around and I say, I was glad to get out of those woods, but something seems worse in this town. Something is very off.
How much provisions do we have left?
You've got another week's. Another week's worth.
I say we ask for directions and then get out of here. I agree. I was looking forward to a warm night in an inn, but I'm not sure I want to do it here.
Mind you, you still have no idea where you're at.
I saw buildings, and I was hoping one of them was an inn. That's not unreasonable.
No. I mean, like, there's inns here, but you haven't asked anyone anything. You haven't talked to anybody. You've walked into a town you know nothing about. You have no idea where you're at.
But you've made it clear it's a very weird town.
All I've made clear is that people are steering clear of you. You're not from there, and that the residents appear to be very hurried.
Well, I think getting information might be a bit of a challenge.
Would it?
But no, until you try.
Go ahead.
So we won't know until we try.
Yeah.
So who wants to do something?
Can I try to find somebody who looks like either taking a break or somebody less busy than all these busy bees?
Well, there are some people who are hurrying with less sacks of grain than others, and there's a few people running with some bolts of spun cloth. There appears to be an old man who's stumbling along a little bit, and he's got a few bottles. He's pulling along in a little wagon with some wheels on the back. He seems to be less scary than the rest of the people there in terms of like being rude.
Let us not fret. I'm sure it's just a harvest festival. They're just wrapping everything up. Everything's fine.
I think
Don't you feel the ominous aura in the air?
I'd approach the elderly man who's and offer to help in exchange for talking. Help him cart this.
Now, could you describe what you look like real quick?
I am wearing a bright green padded leather armor with a red cloak.
What does an archfey look like?
Depends on the archfey, but my archfey is a dryad, so they'll look like a person made from a willow tree.
Okay. Well, he definitely looks at you and goes, "What the hell are you? Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. The 12 days are coming. What do you want?"
Well, I would be interested in knowing what these 12 days are and why the town is so frantic.
Well, we have to get things done before the 12 visitors come. When the clear day comes, I don't have time for this. Welcome to Barovia. And he steps away, taking his cart with him.
Do we witness this?
Yeah, you all see it.
Hear it?
You had a person who looks not human at all actually walk up to somebody who looks like a plant life creature, go up and do that, and yeah. So yeah, that doesn't fit the mold there for these folks. So yeah.
I look to Estena and I tell her, it's like, I think this might be a job for you. You have the most normal appearance among us and are skilled in collecting information.
Well, I usually don't talk to people before I deal with them, but I can certainly try.
As you look around, you notice there are a few children poking around, and they're kind of looking at you guys a little bit. And one comes up to Caleb and goes, "Do you grow flowers?"
I can. I do have the staff of flowers, so I'll make a flower appear in the ground.
And then you hear the mother start screaming at the children. "Hazel! Hans, get in here!" And they scurry like step 2 and bolt for the house. "You just need to spin cloth." And then you hear a door slam around the corner.
We probably should move on. We are attracting a lot of unwanted attention. And I pull up the hood of my cloak and cover my ears.
Okay.
Did we hear the conversation between Caleb and the old man about the 12 days?
Yes, you heard it all. You were standing there when he approached the man. Like
I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I send
All
a
right.
couple of the bees to instantly engulf the flower that was just created.
Okay. They definitely do.
But I look back at the group and go, 12 days. That's clearly a festival. You are all overreacting. This is gonna
Festival
be.
of what?
You don't have omens in 12 days. There's no bad 12 days. A 12 day is always a festival. It's always revelry. This is going to be wonderful. You're all overreacting.
It's always revelry. If it's always revelry, why don't these
12
people look
days.
like they're reveling?
They're probably getting ready for the revel. They got to finish up the mundane work they have to do. They're just excited for the party. I can sense it in them.
All right, let's go find an inn and ask about the party. If you're right, then...
If there's even room at the end, I expect it to be filled to the brim with revelry.
We don't know if we don't ask.
Right.
So, moving past the crossroads that you were at and moving further into the town, you do move and do find a very large inn in town. Not hard to find. Has a nice swing sign letting you know that there's the inn there. It appears to be quite large.
What is the name of the inn?
Hold on 1 second, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Because this is making it difficult.
So,
hold on here.
I think while we're walking towards the inn, I'll strike up a conversation with our turtle, Aristotle. So Stottle. Mm-hmm. In your travels, have you ever heard of a Barovia?
Well, again, would I?
None of you have heard of Barovia. You know,
No.
Estina knows something about wine. There's something about Barovian wine that has somehow been like very, very popularized in Neverwinter, but nothing about where it comes from or anything like that.
No.
I've heard the name before, but I don't know anything about it. Only that they make wine.
And they must have taverns if they make the wine. Perhaps we can gather some information in said tavern.
So the name of the tavern is Blood of the Vine Tavern. It's a large tavern, about 60 feet square.
Blood of the wine. That seems odd. I would expect fruit of the vine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well.
Yeah.
That's a very ominous name.
Everything about this town is ominous.
Yeah.
Well, according to Bran, there's going to be a festival. That's why they're all reveling.
Oh, you are all just exaggerating in word. Here.
Says the
Leans
tiefling.
into his coat and whispers, "There might be vineyards here. Lots of grapes. Oh, you're going to love it."
He seems right at home being a tiefling.
Oh, I know we've been through worse places than this. Look at that. There's a bit of hustle and bustle, but they're getting ready. Trust me.
I trust
Into the
no
tavern.
one.
Well, you see the front door. It does not appear to be hustling and bustling in and out of the tavern. Would you like to go in?
I
I
would.
walk in.
Nothing else. I'm hungry, and I'd like some more information about what's going on here. So.
Okay. So, everyone stumbles into the tavern, opens the door. As you guys go in, you find a very large, empty, for the most part, tavern. There's a few huddled souls within. There is, the barkeep behind the bar, 3 men of very strange dress, even for this town, huddled together, and a man who happens to be sitting there having a conversation quietly with the barkeep. There is a large fire. Well, large being relative. There is a fire in the hearth that appears to be giving scant warmth to the area within. It's warm, but it's just warmer than it is outside. It still feels dank. Like there's a humid chill that's just permeating this place.
Startle goes straight to the hearth and sits by the fire.
I go up to the hearth and I try to make the fire a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I use create bonfire.
Okay. Okay.
Much better.
It does go up, and the barkeep and the man at the bar he's talking with both turn and take notice.
And I walk up to the barkeep and I go, "We have just entered town. We're a little bit chilly. Is there any place to rest?"
Well, we have rooms above, if you want. Let's see here. Well, it's typically a silver piece a night.
All right.
It's typically 2 people per room.
I look at Estena.
I can get you adjoining rooms if you want everyone to connect, if you wish.
That would be wonderful.
We'd appreciate that.
Yes, no problem, no problem. Excited to have you here. Would you like some food?
Yes, please.
No problem. We have venison stew and some fresh leeks.
I look at Torgon and Stortle and Metis and nod my head, indicating, "Is that all right?" I don't know what they eat.
Leaks are fine.
Nods cheerfully and makes his way up to the bar as well.
Okay. Well, delightful.
Yep.
The other gentleman there, who was talking to the barkeep, kind of steps up and goes, "Please join me for a drink. Come sit."
I go and I sit.
Definitely follow.
All right, so you guys sit down by the fire, and he's obviously put his back toward the now larger, warmer fire himself, and he goes, "Obviously you are not from here, and I will tell you that unlike most of the Barovians here, I'll actually talk to you. My father's the burgomaster, and, well, most people here are they're very rough people."
I've noticed.
Yes, well,
Do you have any idea what that is?
it's just their nature. I've traveled a little more than most. Most of these people have never left, well, the confines of the city, and only a very, very few have even gone to the next few towns over. How long have you been here?
We've
10
just
minutes.
entered.
Well,
Wonderfully short time.
the 12 nights are coming. That's why. Everyone's even more so dour than usual.
12 nights.
12 nights.
Say dour. These are not a celebration.
I don't think you're using that word correctly.
It's, well, if you make it through the 12 nights, there's a celebration that you're alive. It's getting colder. The season is coming. When the clear day comes, it signals the herald of the visitors coming.
The visitors, who are they?
Well, you'll find out eventually, but it's like works like this. In Barovia, there's almost never a clear day. And then there's one clear day every year. When it happens and you see the sun, which we only see once a year, in the coldest parts of the season, it's the morning. And then for 11 nights, the visitors come. And on the 12th night,
What do they...
we might get to celebrate. Gifts. if you will.
What do the visitors do?
Well, are you planning on staying in town for the 12 nights?
Ideally, we'd like to leave as soon as possible.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be out in the countryside during the 12 nights.
It sounds like we wouldn't want to be in your town for the 12 nights either. No offense meant to you, sir.
Well, you take your choices where you are, but in the village, at least people survive.
What happens outside of the village?
People are never found again.
Why?
I wouldn't know. I wasn't there.
What do these visitors do to people?
Well, each night brings a specific visitor with its own agenda and means of determining if someone has been naughty or nice. Anyway, they're all terrible people here. But they're all good in some ways too. They all want relief from the sorrow that we all have here. The first night brings the snows. You definitely don't want to be out while the snows are coming. It's best to stay inside until the snows have cleared. But, I don't know. Why should I tell you about the visitors?
Why shouldn't you?
For all I know, you're helping them.
I pop a gold piece down and I slide it over. I am very curious about these visitors.
He looks at the gold piece. Roll a persuasion check.
$11.
11.
Can I slide a gold piece over and give her advantage?
No, that's not how that
Boo!
I look at him and I say, what is gold when our lives are in danger?
True. But if you're alive and you can spend it, it's good coin nonetheless. He scoops up the gold. He takes the gold piece and slides it over with one finger. Looks at it. Takes a bite. Looks at it again. Okay. Puts it in a coin purse. Well, on the second night, after the snows have come, the Watchers. Residents don masks. Well, costumes. From there, they try to frighten away the spirits so they cannot see how the productivity stands at the last minute to try to buy themselves some time. See, all the spirits have their agenda. Their agenda is based on a variety of things. I'm curious, did you get everything you were supposed to get done this year?
That would depend on your perspective.
And if you know what you're looking for in the first place.
I am.
How do you know you've gotten your tasks done that you need to do if you don't know what they are?
I am
Snows
familiar
and
with
spirits.
spirits.
Again, there's 11 days, 11 visitors, each with their own agenda. I've told you about 2 of them.
Are these visitors perhaps of the Fae?
I don't stick around to ask.
What can be done to dissuade these visitors from bothering us?
Making sure that you've met whatever requirements it is that they have.
And how do we find this out?
I don't know. I'm feeling my purse is light still.
I take a gold piece out and I slide it over.
Thanks. On the 3rd day and night, the White Ladies are brought forth. They reward those who have completed their tasks and punish those who have not. Any who have squandered their precious items or time should be wary.
Very interesting.
Very indeed.
What's the nature of these white ladies? Are they spirit? Are they human? Or other?
Terrifying is what their nature is.
All
For
right.
those who've gotten their ire, we've only found dried out husks of bodies.
That does not sound fair to me.
And the howling screams that come from them.
I look at Metis and I go, celebration indeed.
You've only heard day 3.
You need to hear
Hey.
more?
It may get better. It may get better.
If you survive, perhaps.
Let's see where else it goes. There could be a big change in the theme. It goes
You are
back.
a terminal optimist.
All right. I
Day
am
4.
curious.
Day 4 can't be as bad as day 3. Proceed.
Oh, but it can be. Oh, but it can be.
I pop another gold down, slide it over. Continue.
I'm afraid when it gets worse, the value goes up.
I do another one.
Rather than engage in this back and forth, perhaps you could simply name a prize for telling us about all 12 days?
You know what? The 4th night is scarecrows. They punish those who've not completed their grinding of grain. Get your broom ready. And that's the only thing you're getting for the rest of the day. He takes the 2 gold, slides it into his purse, and goes, perhaps next time we'll talk some more.
Oh,
Well, thank you for your time, sir. And I get up and I go and I get the room key and go on up to the room.
before you go, where might one secure one of these masks for the second night?
Oh, typically you can find them for sale in the various different shops that'll have the candles lit during the day. What the other thing is that you recall as you walk through the area is that a lot of the places were shuttered. They were, well, it looked like a town that had basically started to lose a lot of people over time, and they have not been replaced. A town that is slowly dying.
Have we eaten at this point with this
Not-
man?
You've not.
All right.
You've not.
So after I go and to the room and get it all situated,
Mhm.
I come down and I get some supper and I sit alone at a table unless my companions want to join me.
All right. So the rest of you eat some food. The venison stew is good. It is warm. It is warming. It is one of the few treats of this town. However, you get the feeling it just seems like an inn like this should have more liveliness, and it just doesn't.
I
Three
look
men
at
at the bar that were there by evening pay their respects and drop a few coins on the bar and leave. They walk out the front door.
As we're eating, I look at the others and I say, I think our best hope for getting more information is if we can corner one of the children away from the parents long enough to ask them about it. They seem to be the only people in town who are actually receptive to talking to us.
The children seem to be well protected in this town. Would seem a dangerous endeavor to corner one's children.
Well, I'm just talking about trying to find some children who are playing.
I'd rather not be framed as one of these so-called visitors.
Agreed.
So I agree.
It seems these people are hurting. I think coin may be our best bet.
We can bribe the information out of them. I've no objection.
The man mentioned shops open during the day. I think that might be a good source of information. And definitely if coins are a way in, shopkeepers love coin.
We can buy some masks and hopefully ask some more details about these 12 nights at the same time. That was good thinking, by the way, asking about the masks.
Agreed. I'd hate to think what would happen if we are left without any. Spirits are fearsome to fend off.
So you're eating your food. You've received some information. You definitely have some concerns, and reasonably so. What do you wish to do next? You've eaten. You've all gotten food in. Evening is starting to set in.
If evening's starting to set in, then I'm gonna tuck in and go to sleep because we've been in the woods for 7 days and I'm tired.
Not to mention, it has been intimated that evening in this town could be very dangerous.
Very, yeah.
Okay.
You should head up to the rooms.
All right.
I'll follow up to the room. I'm still not certain. It's quite as dangerous as they seem to be saying.
As you guys are going up, you see the innkeeper and barkeep goes over to the front door and bolts it shut. And also puts a large timber in the holders to keep the door braced closed from anything trying to break the doors down.
So I look at Metis and I raise my eyebrow.
That could be for coyotes. We don't know. Continue talking.
Dire coyotes.
Ever the optimist. Ever the optimist. You guys go to your rooms. You each...
Yes, what's the room situation? Because we got 3 people and the rooms are 2 people each, right?
Mm-hmm. We get 3 rooms?
Who's going solo?
Well, I was thinking me and Pretzel could go solo, or me in the hive, or you in the hive.
Yeah, dude does have bees. That would be interesting
bees.
to sleep next to.
They're quiet at night.
They are. They help keep him warm with their buzzing.
It's a nice white noise.
Yeah.
It sounds like the hive needs a room.
Okay.
He has enough optimism to fill a room by himself.
Okay. So, excuse me, not Bran. Metis is in a room by himself then. Okay. So you guys sleep through the night. Make a perception check, everyone.
19.
19?
16.
16?
22.
22?
Ooh.
17.
5.
And at some point in the night, you hear the creaking of boards as someone is walking around.
Inside or outside the room?
Outside the room.
Just checking. Mm-hmm. I get out of the bed when I hear that, and I go over to the door and just put my ear to it to see if I hear anything else.
You just hear the creaking moving away from your room. I mean, it moved by your room. You woke up as it came by, and you hear it again as it goes by and away.
Okay.
Everyone sleeps soundly, and far more warmly than you have the 7 nights before. So now, as you wake up in the morning, early, you are awoken by bright, clear skies. The day is much brighter than it's been for the last 7 days that you've been stumbling around. You have some breakfast. You see a few more people are stumbling into the inn this morning to eat something. And you're hearing some grumbling about, it's happened. It's happened. The clear day is here. This has to be the clear day. The one clear day. Are you sure? There's no fog. Blue skies. Bright sun. This is it. What now?
I say to the group, it seems our day has arrived. These people are visibly on edge.
For a beautiful day, they've said it themselves. Blue skies, bright sun. I don't understand the kerfuffle.
These people have lived here all of their lives, and we've barely been here 24 hours. Perhaps we should listen to them when they express concern.
Maybe they're living here wrong.
It's, entirely possible, but that's what you've overheard.
I go over to whichever group of people eating breakfast is closest.
Okay. Well, there's like 4 people there. 2 are eating at one round table and 2 are eating at the bar.
I go to the ones who are eating at the bar.
Okay. So there's a really long bar that would seat probably, 12 to 15 people at a time normally.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 dudes sitting at the end all the way on one side.
Okay.
So, talking to the barkeep, you go up to those 2 guys and...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I go up there and I say, excuse me, we're travelers here, me and my friends, and it was mentioned to us that we would probably want to buy masks or costumes. I was wondering if you could tell us where to get those, and also a little bit about why it seems so important.
You're new around here, ain't you?
I am, yes.
Well, I suggest you get yourself a mask. And you get inside before the snows start to really come tomorrow.
When will that happen? In the morning or the afternoon?
Tomorrow.
Right. Where should I get a mask?
Any place with a candle that's got masks in the windows. People make extra for others. So the rest of us can do our things.
Why do you all wear the masks?
To frighten away the spirits so they can't see you. What are you doing? Writing a book?
I just want to understand what's happening here. This seems very unusual. I've never encountered a town where this sort of event has gone on.
Well, I suggest you get a mask, and I suggest you take care of yourself, because we're all doing the same, and we're just normal people who get terrorized by the beast Strahd. And
Strahd?
Anyway, look, get your masks. We're not going to be leaving town anytime soon for at least the next 2 weeks.
Right, well, thank you for your help, gentlemen. I go back over to the table and I say, they seem very emphatic that we should all buy masks, and they mentioned somebody named Strahd.
What's a straw?
Beast named Strahd. I've no idea.
Interesting. Well, I suggest we go and get these masks.
Yeah, purchase mask. Quite the festive thing to do, people.
You're quite stuck on the festivities, aren't you?
So
I think we're just panicking. Look at the lovely day outside.
as you guys step outside,
The nights are scary.
you guys are indeed shocked by just how bright it is outside. And the bustling city is indeed, the village is bustling even more so than it was before. You see carts of wagons with mules and ponies pulling things to and fro throughout the city. People appear to be, hurry up, the clear day's here. We've got to get the last of the grain in. And you see just lines of carts up around the granary as you see a few people are now like, I don't want to be last in line. Hurry! And other people are busy working stuff, and there are a few places that have candles lit in the front windows and masks. You also start to realize there's probably 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 houses are boarded up.
I think we should leave these people be. They seem very frightened. We may
Occupied.
have better luck in the store to gather more information. We still don't even know what's going on the rest of the week.
So as kids are like, but why, Mommy? And you're walking by and you see some kids, but why, Mommy? Why do we have to do this so long tonight? It's like, and she just looks down and goes, we must finish before the visitors come. All must be complete. And she rushes him around into the house again. Stop playing, start doing the chores. And the door closes. Are you going into the house to buy a mask?
Does it have a candle window?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
There's some interesting masks with like, you know, domino masks. There's a couple with like long noses, masquerade style. There's some with some really creepy grins and some with like just big eyes. It's really weird, the masks here. It's like a combination of freak show and carnival and, well, a masquerade ball in the Renaissance era all at the same time.
Are there any that look like a dragon? No. Okay. I get one that covers the eye area.
Okay. That will be 2 silver pieces. Yes.
I
And
put
you have
it
your
on
hood
the
up,
counter.
right?
Sorry?
You have your hood
I do have my hood up
Okay.
to cover my ears.
Be careful, you. Looking at Alfonso with his large portal frame.
Who, me?
Yeah, they're looking at you. Like, be careful, you.
Oh, okay.
Because as you come into the shop, you realize it's very, very cluttered with all sorts of stuff.
While I have the lady's attention, I asked her, we're travelers, and we've gotten the masks on good reference from the people here. Do you know what other festivities are happening throughout this 12-day period?
Festivities. Who told
Or
you there's a festival?
events?
It's the 12 nights. It's terror.
And I give a look to Metis.
They give us all as innocents a scare. My worst
Okay.
one is the 7th night. Oh, the 7th night is when the homely night comes to punish those who haven't kept their house in order.
Oh dear.
Oh, I hate that. That's why
I look around.
I have to clean everything here.
I look around. It seems to be in order to me.
It's messy. It's too messy.
How clean does it have to be to not be punished?
I don't want to find out what the line is.
Edis is in the doorway, fluffing his coat.
Thank you for the
Bending out.
silver. A dashing lad you are. Would you like a mask as well?
I'm sending out the cloud of bees out into this wonderful sunny day.
What in the hell?
We're obviously too worried. We don't even own houses. How can our house be dirty? It's fine. That's a lovely mask. And I will take that one.
And which
He
one?
points
Which one are
to,
you taking?
The long-nosed
The long-nosed?
masquerade.
Perfect. Well, that one's 3 silver pieces.
Worth every piece.
I put some cedar in the nose so it smells nicer.
Don't think I didn't notice.
My husband picked that one
Is a work of art.
up. Yes.
Are there any other things we should be concerned about?
I don't know.
While we're here, I would like to purchase all the items that we would need for the week.
Well, the only thing I can give you is masks. I don't
Alright.
know what else you might need for the week. What about the rest of you? Each of you need a mask?
Yes, please. I'm looking for something like nondescript. Do I see something plain?
It's a mask. There's nothing plain about the masks. Like, you're not going to fade
Alright.
into the crowd, except if everyone else is wearing masks. So, just wearing
But
a mask
everyone else
around-
will be wearing masks.
Yeah, so, but, I mean, there's a domino mask. It just basically has your eyes, like the old, banks, cops and robbers mask. The one that goes across. You could do that.
All right, I'll take that one.
Okay, you do that one.
Which one of these masks is the most beard friendly? Is there like a butterfly mask somewhere?
Well, they have certainly masks that go over the top of the head. They do have some that have, like, a butterfly on them. They're cut in the shape of a butterfly.
I will also want to inquire. Do you have any tiny masks
For children?
for like a doll or a puppet?
I suppose I can make one real fast for you. What size
Excellent.
doll?
I imagine at this point, there's a little birdhouse basically on my quarterstaff, and the sprite will peek out. That size.
You guys are strange. Very strange indeed. Yeah, I can do that in about 15 minutes. Just give me a few moments. And she goes over and goes, what about you? Whatever you are, Alfonso, because you're a turtle. Turtles don't live here, man. Like, they've never seen anything like this. Like, you're like, hello, I'm a turtle. You know, and you got a hard shell and some whatever clothing that turtles wear besides your half shell, and she's just being polite, but frankly, you terrify her probably. So she's going around the back, she's got a cutting board, she's got one of her very sharp blades, and she's cutting some fabric and stuff like that. Which one strikes your fancy? You can pick whatever mask you like.
Does the masks have any special qualities, or are they just trash? Any?
Like, you want one that you can't see eyes? Your eyes? What do you want? They hide your face?
Just wanted to know if they were magical in any way. If not, then I'll just use mine. And then he pulls out a skull mask.
No, no, and that's a scary mask. Very good indeed. No, we don't have magical masks. Magical masks would certainly not be 2 silver pieces. I can tell you that right there. Right there.
Well, I'll just keep mine. Thank you.
Sure. Well, I mean, you didn't destroy anything, so that's a good step. She goes over there and cuts some holes. Does some stuff. Goes, all right, let's see if that's the right size. And it's not. It's a little big. It's a little big. She's never made anything for a pixie before. Frankly, it's weird. And she just, the pixie puts it in, it's like big eye holes, bigger than her head. It kind of goes around and envelops the head. But it works. It's a mask.
The important thing is Pretzel's having fun. And
2 coppers. 2 coppers. That's the little.
I give her a gold piece because she had to go through all that trouble and.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You want some more?
And for my mask as well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, beautiful. Thank you. Well, aren't you good? Well, you should probably know this then. On the 5th night, the cats come and eat those who have not received new clothes.
Do masks count as clothes?
What is
No.
going on in Barovia?
Masks.
Oh, okay.
Can we order new clothes from you?
I suppose so, yes. I'd have to take measurements, but you'll need to have some new clothes. Something.
They need to be a full set.
I don't know.
And how recently do the clothes have to be new? Is it like from the last 12 days or?
From the last year, yes.
Well, I should be good then. I'm gonna risk it.
Okay.
She looks down at her worn sorcerer's robes and goes, Well then, let me buy an article. How about some socks?
Do you have a hat?
I have a cloak.
Alright, socks it is. Alright, takes a look. Alright, no problem. She recognizes feet when she sees them in about the sizes. She's eyed socks up before. Alright, I'll have them ready in about 3 days. Anyone else?
I'll order an outfit, just a shirt and trousers, something simple.
Full shirt and trousers. Alright, I've got these colors here, and you see just some basic colors, like browns, other shades of brown, some tans. There are a few whites, and if you're getting really fancy, there is some dark dark blues.
I'll take the brown.
We've also got grey.
Gray it is.
All right.
And are
wouldn't-
there any other things that we might want to buy for these 12 nights? Like, is there?
I make clothes.
mention-
I make masks.
All right,
What
but
do you
is there like? No, I'm not a.
I'm a little busy.
You-
I have things to do, and now I have to get these things done before the visitors come. So bear with me. You want a full set of shirts and trousers? Okay. She takes a quick look at you, grabs a tape, does a quick measure across your back. Okay, no problem. Shirts and trousers. Shirts and trousers. Shirts and trousers. Okay. I can have that done in 4 days.
Well, as long as it's done by this 5th day when we all need new clothes.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So I
take
pop a
it.
gold down for her trouble, and I walk out.
Alright. What about the rest of you?
I'll take it, bro.
You take a cloak? Alright, a cloak I can have made for you in a day.
Okay.
That'll be 2 gold. And you, the guy who's very happy all the time, smiling, and made bees come out of his clothing, which is very awkward and sounds painful.
Look down at my leather coat. It's just stiffened with beeswax and royal jelly and honey, just kind of caked in. Brown shirt, please.
Brown shirt. Okay, brown shirt. 2 days.
Perfect.
Brown shirt. No problem. Brown shirts. I already have a lot of those in stock in just your size. It looks like I just got to do the final stitching to get them all together. That's no problem. I don't want to ask, but do you happen to have any honey?
Why, I do.
I don't suppose I could buy a few coppers off of you.
I think we can most certainly make that.
And a little bit of wax.
That as well.
Perfect. It helps the sewing needles go smoothly through the fabric.
You don't have to tell
I'll
me.
give you 3 copper. 2 copper of honey and a copper of wax.
Seems a fair trade.
Thank
Starts
you.
fishing into various
Slides over in
pockets.
there. You know how long it's been since we've had good honey?
You will not find better.
Oh, goodness. And you, pull honey out of where?
We'll say one of the side pockets.
You're just like, hey,
A
wanna buy some
couple
honey,
little-
kids? Wanna buy some honey? Okay.
Not like the full comb I'm scraping.
All right, yeah. All right.
We'll sell the drugs to the children later
Yeah,
in the day.
All right. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. This will help expedite things a little bit. So, the cloak 1 day, the brown shirt 2 days, the socks 3 days, and the shirts and trousers should be ready in 4 days. So you'll all have new clothes for those who want them before the 5th day. It'll be okay. And I'll have all tasks that were assigned at the time to be done in time. So we'll be okay. May your gods protect you. Good luck.
I stare at her a little bit, and then I leave.
Marissa, you're outside and you see people bustling about. Boxes, bolts of cloth, things are going around. You hear the sound furiously of hammering from blacksmith shops out somewhere in the town that you haven't found yet. You find all sorts of other things that are just continually moving in this town. And the line in the granary up the hill, you can see in the windmill as it goes, is continuing to grow. But people are leaving happily, like, I got it done! Yes, we'll make it through! and they're going to their houses, and when, as you're walking, you even see people in the front of their houses, like, furiously stitching. As you go to a boarded house and you start to look in, you do notice an old woman says, best not to go inside a boarded up house, do we?
Very interesting. Is there a reason they're boarded?
Some are boarded to keep the good things out, and some are boarded to keep the bad things in.
Interesting. And I said, thank you, kind man.
Yes.
Do you perhaps know anything about what would happen on the 6th night?
The 6th night
of this event?
Well, she leans in close to you and goes, on the 6th night, the Ash Man comes. He looks for those wasteful food.
That sounds terrible.
It's not one not.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I lean close into her, and I put a gold in her hand. I say, do you perhaps know about 8 and 9 as well?
8 and 9 of what?
The 8th and ninth days, of course.
Well, on the 8th day, the living must pay respects to the dead.
And how would they do this?
Well, they'll come to you. And on the 9th night, the night of all town, that's when the boogie comes.
Interesting.
I knew a boogie once.
What does this boogie
But
do?
man,
I don't know. All we know is who we found. He, she, it, whatever it is.
So I guess it's best to stay inside that night.
So, as you guys start to go through, you do notice a few things the townspeople are doing to prepare. You see some people going, and I got this shirt just for you. And giving gifts to each other. One person actually brushes by you and brings in a bonnet for the lady who makes clothes. He goes, this is new clothes for you. Oh, thanks, here, borrow this one. She hands her a mask. Thank you, Harriet. She steps out. People are helping out each other. You see firewood being stacked in front of houses. Some people are coming with carts and seeing where there is no firewood stacked in front of the house. You see them stacking some firewood there for each and every house that isn't boarded up. You start to see another group starting to do some other stuff and putting out a few brooms here and there. Brooms! Get your brooms! Brooms! Who needs a broom? Brooms! Appears to be an old man selling brooms at one of the corners with a large set of, well, grass-based brooms, the hard whiskey brooms with the bristles tied at the bottom in the round shape. Brooms, 3 copper! Brooms, 3 copper!
I wave him over and I say,
No,
"Can
yeah,
I
I'm
buy
not
a-"
coming to you, lady. I work at the corner and I've got a cart full of brooms. You come to me. I appreciate it,
that's-
but I'm old and you're young. You can come here. Yeah, wave yourself over. Come on
All
over.
right. I
got 'em
go
here.
over there. I go over there.
All right,
Yes.
I got your brooms. Brooms.
Why are you selling all these brooms, sir?
You gotta have brooms.
Why?
Well, if you don't have brooms, you're gonna have some problems on the
What?
4th night when the scarecrows come.
You need brooms for the scarecrows.
You don't have your broom handy, and you haven't you've ground all your grain. It's problematic.
I'll take 5 brooms.
You're gonna buy 5 brooms. Big
I am.
spender, Big spender.
Yes. So I hand over 15 copper.
15 copper. Well, thank you. Would you like to buy the higher quality brooms?
How much are they?
Here, I've got brooms. See, these have got metal bindings as opposed to twine. They're a gold
Oh.
piece. Guaranteed.
I hand over 2 silver and I say, I'll just take the regular brooms, thank you.
All right, fair enough. He takes the 2 silver.
I'm traveling, I need to make sure I watch my coin.
You want change?
No, keep the change.
Big spender.
So I
Picks
was
up
wondering
5
if you could tell me a
brooms.
little more.
Hands them out to you, starts counting them out to you and checking them to make sure that the bristles are good. you gave him 5 extra silver, so he's definitely not gonna. Or you basically
Five
gave him 5
extra
extra
copper.
copper, so he's definitely not gonna screw you.
Yeah.
Or is he? You don't know. But he seems to be checking the brooms before he hands them to you.
I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about these 12 knights that you and all the other villagers seem so worried about.
I wish I had time to chat about anything else, but I'm here to sell brooms. I mean, like, really. Here's 3. Let me check these next 2. What do you want to know?
Well, what is going to happen on the second and why do we need these masks? What are they for?
The mask. Why did you buy them if you didn't know what they were for?
Because we were told we needed them, but nobody told us why.
For the watchers, of course, the watchers. You gotta frighten away the spirits, so you can't see how little we've done, or how much we need to get done still. It gives us an extra day, hopefully, to get everything done. But anyway, they're watching, possibly even now, so just be careful.
Right, well thank you for the advice.
Mm-hmm.
I take the brooms and I go over to the others and I say, I don't know why we need these, but I thought it'd be better to have one for each of us. They hand them out. Something about scaring away scarecrows.
Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just planning to put it in my room in the inn and hopefully that would be good enough. It sounds like these creatures, whatever they are, come at night.
It seems so.
Maybe we need the brooms to show them what happened to the last scarecrow.
No, the old man yells over at Anna again. If you know anyone who needs a broom, you'd be wise to tell him to come see me, or at least help me get the word out about them. People need these.
I yell back, no problem.
I have the distinct
useful and help people.
I have the distinct impression that we should give these brooms to those who would need them. We've ground no grain.
That might be the problem with these scarecrows. It's not like these villagers have been very specific with us.
Well, and then I do a little fire in my hand. I go, scarecrows are no problem for me.
So we can't all throw fire.
How about a little fire, scarecrow? He says he's kind of like practice swinging the broom as if it was a weapon.
I grew tired of this.
I still think we're giving in to the panic of the season. These people have a lovely culture and lovely ways, and I think you're just not understanding it.
As you're moving along the streets, trying to figure out what to do next as you're waving your brooms around. Ha ha ha! You're like kids on the street playing joust with sticks and stuff. I don't know.
On guard, Scarecrow.
There is a person who seems to be very serious riding a horse towards you. He's got long, dark gray robes over his clothing. A bit of a fur. What would you call like a fine fur hat on his head, a big thick beard. Appears to be a little bit portly, but not ridiculously so. He's well fed. A big man as well. There's something strange, a little bit familiar about him, and that's when you realize when he says, "My son told me you were in town."
You must be the burgomaster.
I am the burgomaster. And may I ask why you are here?
We have found ourselves here. We are lost in the woods, and we are trying to leave as quickly as possible. But we have been advised it would be unwise to do so during the event. So we are trying to find out more information about what happens during this event and how to protect ourselves.
Well, your best way to protect yourself is to pitch in and do something to help out the town. Not to just stand here, waving your brooms about as if you're jousting with scarecrows.
Could you point us in the direction of those who would need some assistance?
Look around, see who looks like they could use some help, and help them out. find out as much as you can and pitch in where it's needed. We have 11 nights of the deepest pits of messes being inflicted upon us as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, sir. You can find us at the inn. And I walk away.
He trots away. Mind my words! Trots away.
So I go into the store that we had asked the lady
Harriet.
for the clothes, Harriet. And I give her my broom. And I asked, would you need some assistance in creating these articles of clothing?
Well, the only one I really need to get assistance with is the, let me see, I need to get the brown shirt, the cloak, and the socks done. If I get the socks done in time, and the cloak and the brown shirt, everything is good. Everything is good.
Okay. What would you have me do?
Do you know how to stitch?
I do.
Alright, well then, here's the brown shirt. Just get that started right away. I've got to do the socks. Those take a little bit of time. The cloak I'll do tonight. That's easy enough. We've already got the cloth quilted out. It's a thick, dark color, of course. And she hands you the brown cloth, where you can see the sleeves have already been cut. They just need to be attached to the shirt itself. And then she hands you the 6 copper buttons to be placed along the front of the shirt to button the shirt itself.
Alright, so I grab the items and I cast Mage Hand.
And the rest of you basically watch her walk into Harriet's shop and say, "Hi, I'm working on stitching. I'm doing stitch witchery." So, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I look around for somebody who looks like they're maybe struggling with the load or running around more frantically than the others.
Well, everyone's running around pretty frantically. It's kind of hard to spot the gradient of franticness.
Alright.
You know, everything from barrels to people running around with various different things. It's kind of hard to tell what's important versus what's not without actually asking some questions.
Well, then I go up to the nearest person. I say, "Is there anything I can help you with?"
Well, I'm still selling brooms.
Do you know of anyone who needs particular help to get ready for the 12 nights?
So here's what we do. During the day, we try to line up everything we can in front of houses. So firewood, brooms, sacks of grain as needed. As long as everything is done, they leave us the hell alone. And at night, we take those things inside, and we know that those things are good. And they don't come back out in the morning, we know something bad has probably happened. You get the idea.
Okay. So
Anyway, so if you want to buy some
some
brooms and then go find places to put them, that's fine by me.
Perfect. I'll buy a dozen brooms.
Oh, fantastic! Would you like to buy the fancy ones?
No. The normal ones are fine.
Alright, well. So he hands you a dozen brooms. Now these brooms they're just as good as the ones you had, which were great. They're good brooms. They're not great brooms. They're like, hey, we had to meet the bare minimum to make enough room to not get shot, but enough room that we're not spending a lot of time making brooms. So that's what they did. So it's not quite a decoration, but this isn't something that's going to last more than a month or so.
I am trusting these townspeople to not want to die and therefore not make brooms that are below the standard required to not die.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, my broom's the higher quality one. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Right. Now, thank you. If you go down the southern facing road, you should be able to figure out if anyone doesn't have any there, and then, check the alleys with care as well to see if any houses behind you.
All right. And I head off and do as he suggested.
All All right, so you start going down there, and he's right at the corner of where your inn is now at this point. So he's just basically at the main crossroads in the center of town. Come and get your bros! You can hear him in the distance. All right, so Bran, Caleb, and Alfonso. In the distance, you see the windmill way up the hill, breaking away. Right here in town, you see wagon carts moving forward. You see the occasional granary of grain or finely ground grain put in a sack in front of a house or on top of a barrel in front of a house.
When we were in the tavern, was there that same sort of concern of hustle from the tavern keeper?
So as you go into the tavern, one thing you can say about the tavern is, despite everything else going on, there is not a speck of dirt in this tavern. It is clean, and you spent some time watching him just because you've got nothing else to do. And he cleans every glass he's got, and he just does it. And then when the last one's done, he just picks up the first one and starts cleaning it again. Just absent-mindedly.
No, right? That's probably normal. Say as I kind of step.
He just kind of stares off into space as he does it.
Does the inn have stuff in front of it like all the houses do?
The inn does have. It has several sacks of grain, as a matter of fact. It has 2 brooms. And it has a few barrels of this, that, and the other, with signs that say "Don't touch." It's scrawled into them, and that's all you see so far.
I'm gonna say, start making my way down the road towards the windmill. But every small little vial I have of honey or beeswax, I'm setting down with the bounty that are waiting outside of people's doors.
So you're putting a tiny little block of beeswax in a tiny little vial of honey.
Yeah, as I can spread out.
Okay.
Through there, just
One of
trying
the
to.
things you notice is there's very few bugs in town. Like there you do see the occasional one. Like the birds are eating something, or something's eating something, but there ain't a lot. Like what you do notice is there's a lot of spiders in town. It's kind of wicked, you know. And all right, so you drop the honey and you drop the beeswax. You just go from house to house. Okay, great. Caleb?
I'm proficient in brewer's tools, so I believe I would be able to help with the grain.
Oh, you're gonna put the grain to work.
I'm gonna just. I mean, we got somebody making clothes. Obviously, we're gonna be here a while. I might as well.
Okay. Okay. So do you do that at the bar or at the granary?
I'll do that. Is there a place to do that at the bar?
Well, you can ask.
Oh, I will go into the bar.
He looks up as he's cleaning a glass. And he goes, no, we don't make it here, but you can go down to the brewery around the corner and go ask them about the copper kettle. That's what it's called. The copper kettle.
Okay. Copper kettle. Got it.
So
And I will.
you go
head to the
around the
brewery.
corner to the copper kettle. And the copper kettle is. It seems like an abandoned building. It's not destroyed or anything like that, but you go in and you can see there are definitely people there, and they're just kind of sitting, looking over the stuff and checking the temperature and stirring stuff occasionally. You see him look kind of panicked, like, is the mash going to be done? It'll be done. It'll be done. I swear it'll be done. Go over and say hello.
So I, from the door, say, "Oh, hello there. I was told you might need some help.
Yeah, come on in. What the hell are you?
I'm a dwarf. We are expert brewers."
Oh. You're a short man. All right, well, come on in. We haven't seen much of your kind about. You go in and you look the look. and in you go. So, well, what do you think we should do? I mean, it looks like everything's on track. Do you want to check?
Yeah, I'll check.
All right. Just don't spoil it, or we're screwed.
What would the roll be to use the proficiency in brews jewels?
What's your proficiency bonus?
My proficiency bonus is 3.
All right. What's your wisdom bonus?
My wisdom is +1, so it'd be plus 4.
In this case, for this one, it'll be wisdom.
16.
16? It looks like it'll be done by tomorrow. To you. That's what you tell him. And you say that to him, and you just see him go. Oh. That's good news. Very good news indeed. Alright, Alfonso, what are you doing?
Is the town like flat, or does it have an incline somewhere?
So the town is mostly flat. It does have a rise up where you can see it appears to be a large chapel church. You guys hear that?
Yes. Anyone know what that is?
Okay. So from there, you're hearing, or not hearing, sorry, you're seeing a rise where the chapel and the cemetery is, and there is a bit of a rise in the northwest where you see a larger house as well. Other than that, not a lot. It's pretty flat. Outside, beyond that, you see the various farms that the various farmers have, grains and the occasional sheep.
I head to the chapel.
You head to the chapel.
Yeah.
Okay. So you saunter up the northwest road direct to the chapel. And what do you do there?
I'm looking to see if anyone needs any help with it.
Let's see here. Well, atop the slight rise, a sagging gray edifice of wood and stone, a church that is obviously weathered, well, a number of different problems for centuries. It's worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and a small flickering light shines through the holes in the shingled roof that you can see through the windows. And the rafters appear to be sagging against the load. As you go to the doors, the heavy wooden doors of the church appear to be covered with grooves slashed into them, like weapons or claw marks piled in, and possibly some burn marks where it's been scarred by fire.
Is that's all? It's not boarded up or anything, right?
It doesn't appear to be boarded up, but it doesn't appear to be in the best of shape either.
We want to open the door, see if I see anyone.
As you open the door, you see a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall that leads to, well, a brightly lit chapel. It's brightly lit only because the sun is filtering through the windows at this point. It's unlit, and it smells of mildew. There's 4 doors, 2 on each side of the wall, leading to what must be adjacent chambers. And you can see the chapel's just strewn with debris. And you hear a soft, quiet voice within, reciting what can only be a litany of prayer.
I approach the figure.
you don't really hear it, but you do see it as you go into your office in the back. You kind of open the door that's already cracked, and inside you see an older man, sitting at an old desk and chair. A wooden holy symbol of the church appears to be mounted above him in a sunburst. And 10-foot-long iron rod attached to the wall stands there, suggesting at some point there was a tapestry that used to hang there, and a cabinet with 4 wooden doors. The old man turns. He looks at you and he says, "I don't know from where you come, and I don't know from what you brought your damnation, but what can I do for you, boy?"
I came to see what I can do for you.
I see maturity in the man before me then. Please, come forward. May the Dawnfather give his blessings.
My friends and I are new in town, and we're going about to see what we can learn about the 12 days and help out as much as we can.
We wish to bring help to our beleaguered town.
This was the plan, yes?
We've had people come to provide help before. Not one made it out alive.
What happened?
The visitors came back. You okay? You can't go to town.
They got them and took them where?
No, they died. They were killed. They thought they would face the visitors. Maybe you are of stronger pluck than they were. Never seen your like before, but I'm always willing to let someone else try.
I've been told I'm pretty tough, but I don't think that's what we came in for. If it comes down to it, then maybe we'll take them.
Well, my name's Donovich. What's yours?
Name's Startle.
Startle. What a genuine sounding name.
I try to.
I like the sound of your pluck. Sounds delightful. Alright, well, in that case, Startle, what you need to know is this. 12 days, 12 visitors. I'm sure you can find out about what you need in town from the townsfolk. They'll tell you about everything. The toughest one is the Ashman. The Boogie Night on the 9th is the very scariest one. But beware, on the 10th night, Strahd's ally arrives to seek out those who have been disloyal. And the 11th night brings the Birch Devil himself. And his sacking. Don't be wasteful of wine. They'll come for you too.
And Strahd, who is he?
Strahd is what?
Who are they? Not, you heard the name once.
Strahd is the ruler of the land. If you look to the right direction, you'll see his castle looming over us, our fair town. Castle Ravenloft. I advise you not to go there. Only death awaits those who visit the castle. And So with that, we're going to take a short 5-minute break, and when we return, we're going to find out what happens next. we're back. We figured out the mic issue that was causing a feedback loop, and we've gotten it resolved. Thank you for hanging with us today. Awesome to have you guys. It looks like you guys have gotten a heist started in the chat. You can also hit exclamation gamble and do some gambling too. Just strictly with the Tavern Platinum, the virtual Tavern Platinum that you get for watching the show. So have some fun with that if you can. If you can, big thanks to tabletopaudio.com for supporting the show, and we support them. They're providing all the music and ambiance that you hear on the show tonight. And also a big thanks to all of you for tuning in and watching and giving us all the cheers and comments in chat, because it fuels us and we heart you for it. So, anyway, it's good to have you guys with us today. So, as we get back into the spirit of it. So, Alfonso, the old priest appears to have taken a liking to you, and he's giving you some more information. He says, "Are you a follower of the Dawn Father?"
No, I am more of a follower of nature and all it provides.
Probably a bigger favor to you than to me. He hates everything with Dawn Father. The beast god. Well, best be off. Unless you plan on doing some work on the church today.
That's what I came here for.
Well, you can start with fixing some of the pews, because it looks like they've been crushed yet again. Maybe even help shore up the door a little bit. The roof is horribly damaged. I don't know that we'll have the time to repair it.
The pews were crushed by whom?
Various unsavory creatures who often come and night. At least once a week. And during the 12 nights this year, I expect no less than all of them. I may not be here 12 days from now.
That's not very much optimistic thinking.
You've seen the death that I've seen in this town. And it comes again and again. For the last 20 years, you feel the same way.
I have a friend that might be able to cheer you up.
No, really? Tell me more.
Well, he still thinks that these 12 days are part of a festival, so...
There is a celebration if you win, if you survive.
Yeah. That is true. So aside from the pews and the doors and the roof, what else needs to be repaired?
You get the door done alone. That's huge. There's no way you'll get the roof done. And the pews, well, get the door done first, and then do the roof.
Well, let's get started.
The pews. So maybe someday I'll have people who actually want to come into the church and take in the Dawn Father's light.
So, what do I roll for the repair of the
Are you
pews?
proficient in carpentry tools or woodworking tools?
No.
Roll with disadvantage to work on the door.
Just straight up D20. Anything
D20,
anything else
roll
adding?
twice, take the lowest.
First is a 5.
Alright.
You're already screwed, man.
Second is a
The
7.
good news is you didn't make the door any worse. The bad news is you didn't make the door any better either. Want to try your hand at some pews?
Yeah. Let's try there.
So you're looking at the various pieces of lumber that at one point made pews, and quite a few of them are broken, and you're taking like parts from one pew, parts from another pew, and you're trying to take enough good parts from each of the busted ones to make a good one. Roll a disadvantage.
First is a 14, and second is... Yeah, it's a 1.
You destroyed yet another pew permanently. It's splintered. It, for whatever reason, you had it like up on its end, like sitting 12 feet up, and you're like, yep, just this last little piece, and then it just falls apart. All the little wood pins that you managed to find just shatter on impact. Some of the wood was already shattered more than you thought. It didn't work.
It seems repair.
The priest
is-
kind of looks from his down the hall and says, I think you've done enough help. I really appreciate it. Please just gather the wood up and place it near the chimney, the fireplace, so that, well, I can at least burn it for warmth.
Do you need a broom?
Well, yes, of course I need a broom. You see the mess in this place. Yes, go fetch me a broom. That can't possibly make it worse. Just, could you fetch me a broom?
But he just hands over the broom that was previously bought.
And you give it to him?
Yeah.
I know I may have been harsh a few moments ago, but if you're giving me your broom, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you make it.
And I do you. Same to you. See you at the end of the 12 days.
May the Dawn Father protect you.
And may the Dawn Father protect you.
See?
He bows,
I can give
he
you
bows and
teachings.
leaves. Good day. He bows and leaves.
Okay. Bows and leaves. Alright. And you head back down the hill toward your friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
That could better.
Alright, so you step on down as you go in. You guys have all started, it's getting toward the evening. You guys have all started to wrap up your tasks that you've started to do. Anna has spread brooms and good cheer amongst all of the northern and the north-south running main road. And
Hey, I never said I
spread.
spread good cheer.
Okay, she spread dour looks and brooms to people up and down, and some people are actually like thankful. It's like, I don't know who you are, stranger, but I appreciate your help. I needed a new broom. Caleb, you guys are sipping ale and having a good time. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Alfonso appears to be coming back down from the hill, dusting himself off, broomless. Marissa, you've stitched a shirt completely together, happily, ahead of time, because that means that everything, because that brown shirt was done, because she didn't have to wait to do it after the cloak, the shirt is now ready tomorrow morning, because she'll put the final touches on it. The cloak is ready tomorrow morning, and the socks will be ready in 2 days as opposed to 3, and the shirt and trousers will be ready in 3 days as opposed to 4.
Okay.
So, I don't know where you come from, but your stitching skill's not bad.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And I just need you to make a quick proficiency check in stitchery, just to make sure that the sleeves are the right length. If you could do that for me.
I was literally just thinking you were gonna let her get away with that.
What do you want me to use for that?
Do you have proficiency in what's the skill for that? Are you? There is a skill for that. I know.
Tailoring?
No, it's. Come on, chat, speak up. You guys can tell us what it is.
Performance, maybe?
No, that's not performance. Let's see here. I'll pull up the tools. Tools.
Survival, that's it.
Taylor Weaver?
Thieves' tools? No. Cobbler's tools? No.
What about tailor or weaver?
Tailor's tools. There you go. We'll do that. Tailor's tools. Go for it. So basically, what's your proficiency?
I'm sorry?
What's your proficiency bonus?
It's 3.
And what's your dexterity bonus?
1.
1. So roll with a +4.
I rolled a 17, so it's
Yep,
21.
sleeves are perfect. Sleeves are spot on. You even put the little brass buttons in both the collar places in the right spot. You're good to go.
Yay!
Solid. Solid.
So I ask her, tomorrow is the day of the snows, is it not?
That's what's supposed to happen on the clear day, yes.
How is your hearth?
Well, checks out, so I think we'll be alright. We got enough timber here. We should be okay.
Alright. Then I will take my leave.
Alright.
So I go back to the tavern, see if everybody else had gathered there.
Alright. So you guys all come together at the tavern. Bran,
Yes.
Bran is like honey off the fingertips. Man, what a great day.
Great day.
As you guys gather in the tavern, you see a couple other people are in there as well. They're again not dressed like the townsfolk. Dressed in unusual garb. And they appear to be quietly sipping some ale at one of the small tables. And you see the gentleman that you met before, the burgomaster's son, is also in there, having his evening meal and drink.
Okay, I go up to his table and I pull up a chair and I greet him. And I say,
Hello.
nice to meet you again.
It's a pleasure. So I suppose it's time we exchange some names since you've been here for longer than a day, and since it's apparent that when the snows come, you're not going to be leaving for a little while.
Well, my name is Drasilia.
Drasilia, I am Ismark.
Nice to meet you, Ismark.
People in town will tell you I'm called Ismark the Lesser.
I sense there's a story behind that.
It's mostly people who believe in false patronage. They think I live in the shadow of my father. My father's his own man. He's a grumpy old man at that, but I'll make my own way.
I have noticed there's some unusual people in this tavern. Are we the only travelers here?
As far as I know, you're the only travelers here.
Alright. What's the story with those people there?
Oh, the Vistani. They're a group of traveling people who come and go as they wish.
We've not heard that term yet since we've been here.
Vistani? It's as simple as the people of Barovia. What do you call yourselves?
Well, I'm just a traveler.
You always keep your hood up when you're in taverns.
It tends to put people at ease.
Why? Do you have, like, tentacles coming out of your head or something?
I pull it back a little bit and it's like, I have very noticeable hair.
Yeah. You should cover that. That's bright. Anyway, where's your friends?
I would like to know the same.
And then you all walk into the tavern together because you all found each other on the street. Anna has 2 extra brooms, by the way. 2 more than you needed. You've already bought them. He won't take them back.
I give one of them to Startle and I say, where did you put your broom? Why are you missing one?
I gave it to the priest up at the church.
Alright. Well, take this one. We don't need any of us dying because we did something foolish, like not pay attention to the villagers when they told us important information.
You're good of heart, like my sister Irina. Anyway, so, did you find your way around town? Did you pitch in? Did my father come and complained to you.
He did.
Not surprised. I should never have told him you were here. Well, what now?
I guess we tuck in for the snows to come and watch the festivities begin.
Word of warning. Stay indoors during the snows come. Stay indoors. Do not go out. After the snows leave, and they will after a day, follow the lead of the villagers. They're not bad people, they're just scared. Unreasonably so.
May I ask if life here does not seem very easy for any of you?
No, it's not.
Have any of you ever considered going somewhere else?
Where would we go?
Anywhere?
You can't leave here.
Surely people will come. Oh, do you have an inn? That implies that travelers come on occasion.
You're obviously new here. So, you haven't figured it out yet. I'm gonna guess when you got here it was very foggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The mists, they let you in. They never let you leave. See, I'm from here. I was born and raised here. I've been to Vallaki and some of the other nearby towns, but you can't leave Barovia. Plenty of travelers have come and tried. Not one has ever escaped. Once you're here until you die.
Really?
What happened to the travelers who tried to leave?
Some we never saw again. Most we found their bodies. Or what was left of them. Or someone did. Occasionally we get news of somebody. But as long as Strahd lives, there is no hope for you.
As long as Strahd lives.
First, you need to get through the 12 nights. Then we'll see what happens. And who knows? At the end of the 12 nights, you might get a gift from Strahd himself, just for surviving.
Interesting.
Very. Spend your coin carefully. Once you spend it, it's highly unlikely you'll make it back.
Well, if we're to die, we might as well spend it now while we're alive.
You've got 12 days. Feast up. Don't be wasteful.
Travelers are never wasteful. When you're starving, you appreciate everything you have.
I wish you could say that to every traveler that's been through here. So, what now? What for the night?
I will
What about
go
the rest of
to.
you?
Do you care for,
Go ahead.
care for a game of cards?
You wish to play cards?
I see no reason why not, unless you can think of something else we all have to do to get ready for these 12 nights.
Cards it is.
I look at the others and say, would you like to play?
Say, meet us at the entrance door frame, kind of with the loose sleeves, letting the rest of the bees funnel into his coat before. So, yes, the game could be nice.
All right.
Joins the table.
I stand up. I will go see what I can learn from these Vistani.
All right. So,
And I was going to talk to the Vistani as well.
so Marissa and Caleb go and walk over to the Vistani. Bran and Anna are going to sit down and play cards with Ismark. And Alfonso, what are you doing?
He'll go and talk to the Vistani.
All right. So, all right, Anna and Bron. As you're sitting down, it appears he pulls out a deck of cards. And he does not seem to have any problem shuffling them in a way that allows him to. Alright, so how about a card of 3 Dragon Empty?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Grab a d6, a d8, and a d10.
A d6 or a d8?
No, a d6, a d8, and a d10.
Oh, alright, alright.
Alright, starting with your d6. Alright, I'm placing a silver on the table. Who's up for a silver?
I put a silver in.
Definitely.
Alright, take out your cards. Roll your d6. Don't tell anyone what it is. Alright, so 3 silver on the table. 3 silver on the table. Alright. 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 I'm pretty happy with what I got. I'm gonna put 2 silver down. Alright.
I slide another silver down.
You gotta put 2 in or you're out.
Okay. I wasn't sure whether you meant 2 in total or
Oh, you
2
put
just in
2
this
more,
round.
Slides 2 more in your pot.
I slide 2 more in the pot.
Alright. Vetus, you're in?
Definitely.
Alright. So 9 total silver in the pot. Roll your d8. Rough go. Now. Alright, I'll throw it at a silver. You in?
I slide a silver in.
Luke, Vetus?
Pretty confident I understand the rules. Slides another silver.
Alright. Alright, make your roll of your d10. Now, if you have proficiency, you can re-roll 1 dice. But you have to have proficiency in 3 Dragon Ante. Anybody?
So simple card proficiency is not good enough?
Cards is cards. 3 Dragon Ante
Oh.
every day.
Okay. Yeah, then I've got what I got.
Alright. Alright, total up your dice. I've got a 10. What do you guys got?
Because lowest wins,
Highest
9.
wins. Highest wins.
He still states it
14.
that way.
Ah. Lady wins the hat. And you now are the proud owner of 12 silver.
Okay.
Alright.
Slightly different rules from where I used to play, but it's good. It's good. Fun game.
Absolutely,
wondering-
Absolutely. Good show. Now let's see what else we can do here. And he starts laying out cards again. While that's happening, the other 3 of you are heading towards the 2 gentlemen sipping, from their soup cups. Whatever broth has been put in front of them. As you come up, they smile at you. Hello, sit down. Talk to us, please.
Greetings. Would you care for a drink?
If your copper is paying, of course.
Of course.
Please.
So-
A nice wine would be fine.
So I tell the bartender.
Ooh. And your other friends, your bearded one is more than he seems, and your other one in the half shell is, reminiscent of smaller creatures near the river.
Yes, we are a unique band.
I will
Travelers.
say, you have travelers
have
the
a
likes
good-
of which I've never seen before.
Yes. And as travelers, we would like to leave this place. Obviously, not during the event, of course,
Event?
but the 12 nights.
Oh yes, the 12 nights this town experiences once a year. Yes. Barovia experiences it as a land, from what I understand.
Is there any way to leave?
Yes.
I would like to know how to leave.
Unfortunately, that is not something we can share. And unfortunately, there are very few people who can leave.
And who can leave?
Those who know the ways out. Those who
So,
are protected or who, well, the ruler of the land allows to leave.
very interesting. And who is this ruler of the land?
Broad, is it not?
You'd be wise to be careful how loud you say such name.
And how do we get the favor of this ruler of the land?
Oh, well, getting favor from the ruler of the land is as rare as the tooth of a hen, yes?
So, if that's rare, there must be another way to leave this protection you speak of.
Well, I'm sure there is. For you, maybe. We will see. If you make it past the first 12 nights, and you wish to ask us at that point during the festivities, if we are here, we will be happy to tell you what we know. Which unfortunately won't be much. But, hey, thank you for the wine.
You're welcome.
My name is Avani. What's your name?
Drasilia.
I am Torgorn.
Name's Startle.
Statel, Torgon, and Drusilia. Drusilia, huh? I like that name. I like Statel too. I even like Torgon. He's very strong. Very strong man. Yes. So, are you going to stay for the 12 days, or are you going to try to set out onto the road?
We were told it was unwise.
Yes, I think I have to agree. For you guys, it would be very unwise.
Because of our unfamiliarity with the land, of course.
Yeah, that too. And he starts laughing and he bumps his other leg.
I don't know, Stortle. What do you make of everything?
I was speaking to the priest at the church, and he told me about a few other nights.
The priest. Yes, well, he's not very loved even by the townsfolk here. You'd be wise to stay away from such a man who spouts his false hopes and dreams and his sentiments of rescue from the dawn and the light. And as he says that, you hear his companion in the bowl of soup and wipe some bread in there and eat the black rye bread that he's eating. He's good. He's good, but he's gone. And with that, he says, tips his wine glass back, drinks it all down, grabs what appears to be a case about the size and shape of an instrument of some sort. And he says, I wish you well during the snows that are supposed to come tomorrow. So, good luck.
Thank you for your information.
Yes, be safe. You will.
You as well.
And from there, the card game goes again. Break out your D6, your D8, and your D10. And
Can we join at this point?
You were having a conversation. But you can watch and bet on the players if you wish, coming in.
So I look at what's our
Ismark?
Ismark. I say. So can you tell us a little more about this Strahd character?
No, I cannot. It would be wise not to use that name out loud again. 2 silver on the table.
I put 2 silver on the table and I say, why can't we use his name?
You don't want to call him fool or get his attention. All D6.
Are we standing behind the said players and can see their hands?
What are you attempting to do?
I was gonna see who is likely to win.
So if you start walking around like you're... Alright, make a sleight of hand check to see if you can do that without being caught.
16.
16. Okay, so you're walking around, you're taking a look. Alright.
So
It looks like Ismark's betting a silver. Another silver. You guys in?
I think I'll fold.
well, before she
Oh,
does
the game
that,
just started.
You don't
before
have
she
to
does
fold.
that,
Okay.
before she does that, I use message and I communicate that I see to Estania.
Costena.
Estania.
He rolled a 2 on a d6.
Can I retcon since she messaged me?
Yeah.
Alright, well then if he got a 2, then yeah, I'm in.
Alright, so he's pushing a silver across. Bran, you in?
Definitely.
Alright. Roll that d8. I think I'm gonna put 3 silver down. You guys up?
Alright. I slide 3 more silver.
I don't know why we're stopping there.
How much do you want to put
5
in?
silver down.
5 silver. Okay. You in?
Alright.
He throws a few more in there to make 5 silver apiece. Alright, alright. Anybody else doing anything?
Do I do another sleight of hand check?
Yeah.
4.
Hey, you mind moving around to the other side with your friends there? This
Not
much
at all.
less? Yeah, money. I mean, unless you're gonna sit next to me and tell me about your day.
Not at all. And I take a seat where he wants me to sit.
Alright, great.
Are you gonna sit next to him and tell him about your day?
He rolled a 6. Charisma.
So I message to Estania. I can see this, right?
Yeah, you did. Because of the way you sat. He thinks you're interested.
I message to her what he's got in his hand.
Okay. So,
So do I pick up on this?
oh yeah, he starts mansplaining the cards to you and everything. He's like, so these are called, this is called Blue Dragon. And so, what you want to do is like the highest game. Okay?
Ah, they don't have this game in my country.
Oh, they don't? Oh, it's quite the range. I was actually taught this by travelers. This is their deck. They sold it to me. They needed bread. Anyway,
Startle sits next to him.
5 silver on the table. Let's do this. Roll that d10. Hey, before we raise the hand, how would you guys like to bet 5 more silver just to see who's feeling real skillful?
I give him a long look, and then I slide 5 silver on the table.
What about you? Cloaked figure of scariness and cheerfulness.
Scariness? I'll show you scary. Starts playing out the 5 silver.
Excellent, excellent.
Scary people don't give away silver. I mean, bet silver.
Well, I'm feeling pretty confident today. Well, let's see here. Add it up. What did you guys get?
11.
14.
What was that, Brad?
11.
11. 18. Today I'm feeling lucky. So he just pulled in 39 silver. Slides it over. Sometimes it's just too easy. He rolled a 10 on his last number.
Oh, so it wasn't a bluff.
No. You guys care to go again? Nah, I'll keep my winnings. I'll tell you what, drinks are on me for this one.
That's kind.
Very festive.
Of course. Well, that's the least I can do. Anyway, I must be gone. I need to find out and go back home and check on my sister. I wish you well.
Wish you the same.
Steps up from his chair, scoops up the cards, leaves 5 silver on the table. That should more than cover the round, and then some. And after all, it was your gold I used to bet on anyway. And goes over to the front door, grabs his cloak off, pushes it around, pulls it in tight. Good luck tomorrow. And steps out. What do you guys wish to do next?
Well, I ask Drusilla if she learned anything interesting from the Vistani.
Well, there are possibly 2 ways to leave. One, you have to have the favor of this Lord, Strahd. 2, you have to have some sort of protection, and that seems to be a well-guarded secret. I think this Vistani group has the keys to that secret. So I would like to get to know them a little better. It might be how we can leave. So no one else seems to have the optimism that we would be able to leave.
Do you think it might be worth our time to follow them? Perhaps see if we can catch them trying to leave, and therefore that way figure out the secret that way?
What time is it?
It's in the evening now. The sun is starting to fade fairly quickly.
Not now necessarily, but eventually. It sounds like we're stuck in this town for the 12 nights one way or another.
Right.
They did mention they'd be here on the 12th if we survived.
Well, I'm going to turn in and get ready for what comes next.
Before we all go to bed, Startle will relay the information he got from Father Donovich about the 10th and 11th days.
Which was?
So, the 10th day, Strahd's ally will come
to seek those who have been disloyal.
Yeah, to seek those who have been disloyal. And the 11th day, the Birch Devil and his sackmen will arrive and to punish those who waste wine.
And who've disobeyed.
And disobeyed.
Punish those who waste wine? I suppose that means we need to buy our drinks. Wouldn't want to waste wine.
Certainly not. He scoops up the coins and makes his way to the bar. Sets him down.
All right. So
wine, please.
Scooped up more wine. He goes, so the barkeep just kind of continues to, after he sits down your wine, he goes back to cleaning glasses. So you guys staying in tomorrow, right?
Seems to be the verdict.
Okay. Good idea. The snows will be coming. And then that's it for the night. He doesn't say much else unless you speak to him. His answers are pretty short and to the point about, drinks and food. Doesn't seem to have a lot to say other than, the guy seems like just a burned out, hollow human being at this point. Just goes about his day.
Metis returns to the table with wine, sets it down in front of everyone, and takes a seat back and dips his fingers into the wine and kind of holds them up just so you can see the various bees coming on, drinking from and climbing back into.
The intoxicated bees are happy.
They love it. Yeah. So you're still so certain that this is something dire and dangerous? I mean, it's a snow day tomorrow. I assume it is like the first whitening, the first snow day of the season.
Don't your bees not like snow?
Well, they're tucked in somewhere warm. They'll be fine for the season.
I relay to them about the 6th, 8th, and 9th days, which I forgot the 6th and 8th what they were.
6th day, the Ashman comes.
Guess what I
Looks for
forgot?
those who are wasteful of food.
Yeah, the
Eighth
8th
night.
day, the living must pay respects to the dead, and they come to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 9th day is the night of all terror, when the boogie comes, whatever that means.
The night of old terror.
It sounded very promising and fun.
Promising and fun.
And
Yes. For
Must
certain.
be an ironic name.
Mm-hmm. I need
A
you all
beekeeper.
to make a... no, you guys are good. You guys are good. You go to bed that night, unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
Oh, and I
Right.
tell them their clothes are going to be ready.
Okay. A day earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
are any of you able to build doors or do any work with the wood?
No, no, I'm not.
Not
I look at my hands
forte.
and
None of you are going to ask him why? Why do you need to know?
Well,
Why?
as I previously mentioned, the priest up in the church, I attempted to assist him with repairs, but it doesn't seem that that's in my wheelhouse. So I was just saying if any of my compatriots are able to do better than I could.
Dwarves are better at stone than wood.
Hmm.
Okay.
No, I'm going to tell you now. I certainly couldn't.
I cast Mage Hand
I'd probably
again,
just break things.
and I show him whatever needs to be done. I do with this.
Nifty trick.
And with that, you guys, have a couple more drinks and talk a little bit about this, that, and the other. And you go to bed, and you sleep restfully. You wake up, and there is certainly a chill in the air. It is colder. You were warm under your blankets, but as you get out, you feel like it's cold. It's colder, much colder. The clear skies that you saw the night before, or the day before and the night before, have now faded, and thick gray and white clouds form overhead. For most of the day, you do see some people starting to scurry around the streets during the day from the windows. You even step outside a little bit here and there, and if any of you smoke pipe weed, that's your opportunity to smoke your pipe and take care of business. But for the most part, people are busily scooping up everything and bringing it inside that were outside the front doors. By afternoon of the first day, well, you guys figure very quickly it's about to snow. And snow it does. These are not just any snowstorm. The snow starts easily enough. White, thick, billowy pieces of snow. And then the winds come. The winds. The snow starts pounding relentlessly across the sky, across the ground. And then it starts coming even faster and more and more. And as you're looking out the windows, thankful for the warm hearth within and seeing the wind scurrying where the snow is coming down almost sideways, it then falls in such a density that you can't even see the buildings across the street. And it howls through the cracks in the windows and the doors. The barkeep is there. He owns the place. He stays there. The Vistani did not return today. Instead, he's sitting there, calmly cleaning his glasses. You do see him change his routine only a little bit to make sure that he's checking for dust and other things. Everything is placed exactly where it needs to be. Do you guys want to do anything at all?
My assassin has her poisoner's kit, so I was thinking of trying to make up a couple poisons.
What are you making poisoners from?
Something to knock somebody unconscious, can I?
What ingredients do you have to do that?
I have the poisoner's kit. I don't, what else do I need?
Okay. You can make that roll.
Okay. What do I need to roll?
You need to roll a 20 or better.
But like, intelligence?
A 20 or better with your proficiency bonus with a intelligence check, yes.
Okay, so intelligence, d20 plus proficiency.
Mm-hmm. No, your intelligence bonus plus your proficiency bonus.
Damn, so close. 19.
Yeah, didn't quite get it.
Oh well, worth a try. We had all day with nothing to do.
Do any of you choose to go outside during the snow?
I'm staring out the window.
And the snow continues to build up, but it does blow through the town. So even though it's building up, you see it also being blown throughout everything. And then there's no visibility. You can't see anything across the way.
Startled is tucked away in his shell.
I go to the hearth and I use create bonfire and I bolster the bonfire and sit down and pull out my dragon chess set.
Okay. And you play dragon chess with?
I'll go over there and play with her.
All right. So you two are playing dragon chess. The afternoon turns into night, and the night continues on. Do you guys stay up? There's nothing happening but snow and howling wind. It's almost like white noise now that you hear.
Is the barkeep anywhere in the area?
The barkeep's still there, but only because you're downstairs. He's sitting on a stool, cleaning.
I look at Drusilla and I say quietly, "Where do you think the Vestonia are staying?"
I don't know. They seem to know a lot more than even the villagers.
Do you think they've homes in the village, or perhaps some sort of camp, like some sort of travelers or gypsies?
I don't know. They're staying elsewhere, not in town, that is for sure.
Wonder what would happen if we went out in that snow.
You could always ask the bartender what he knows about the Vistani.
Oh, want to go over and ask?
I will stay here and observe.
Okay. So I walk over to the bartender and I say, I was wondering, would you happen to know where the Vistani are staying?
The Vistani stay in their camps, wherever they make them.
So do they wander around the valley then?
Most of them are not trusted in town, but they are welcome here because they bring coin. And sometimes news of other towns.
Other towns in this area?
There are other towns like Valaki. Yeah.
So what about outside of this area? Do they ever leave this?
I don't know. I don't go with them.
They never tell you anything about any towns outside this area?
Well, I mean, there's Kresik, there's Barovia, which you're in, and there's Valaki.
What about?
I don't ask about anything else.
What about Silvery Moon? Tribor, Neverwinter?
Never heard of them.
Never?
Never. They must be towns from the outsiders, like you.
Do you ever get travelers from those other towns?
I've never heard of those towns, but we get travelers, like you. people who don't belong here.
We haven't seen anyone who doesn't seem to belong here. Where did they go?
I don't know. Not my job to keep up with them. Their coin is good as long as they have it.
Do you know any... Does anyone ever try to leave this town? It doesn't seem like a very pleasant life.
This is our home. It's always been our home. Some of us refuse to leave our homes. Some people never, ever leave their homes here.
What about the rest of them? Do you know anyone who's ever tried to leave?
Yeah, we've had people go to Valaki and Kazakh and other places, and they come back.
But nowhere else.
There is nowhere else here.
What about your ruler? Do any of you ever speak with him or go to his castle?
Absolutely not, and such a thing should never be invited or spoken. I advise you to be quiet about such things, lest you be invited.
What happens then?
I am done speaking about this. He puts his glass down and stomps around the bar and goes and grabs a broom and starts sweeping in another place of the bar.
I stare after him for a second, then I shake my head and go back to Drusilla and I say, he didn't seem to like me talking about the local landlord, shall we say.
This seems to be a common sentiment in this area.
Anyone else want to do anything before bed?
I think that I would like to almost like a druid, something that I kind of visualize my character having done in the forest back home would be to kind of trance and try to communicate with their patron. And it wouldn't work here.
You have the hardest time getting even the semblance of a connection like you normally would here. It's like you can hear distant callings, but it's like it's through mountains of cotton or dense fog. It sounds, but it's muffled. It's like there's something between you and your patron. It doesn't stop your patron per se, but the tether that you would normally feel, that strength, it's severely challenged and strains to be connected.
In that case, I am going to, as per the advice of Pretzel, set up a little prank and pull a frog from my head of vermin and put it in the room that doesn't have bees, because the frog would eat bees and that'd be mean. And, not that it's not me to just put a frog in someone's room, but,
Whose room are you putting it in?
I guess it would be the elves. Elf and half elf.
Okay. So how are you intending to get into the room to do this? Or is this while they're downstairs watching all of this happen with the barkeep?
Do I have, I do not. I guess me and the pixie are going to try to open the lock with disadvantage, since we are not proficient.
You're going to open the lock?
Or try to...
Okay.
I guess at that point...
So you go upstairs saying, I'm going to go up to my room for a little bit. and step upstairs. You come to their door. The door is
locked.
Indeed locked. However, there is a half-inch gap in it. How big of a frog is it?
It'll be a tiny frog.
Okay.
It'd be able to squeeze through there.
Yeah, so you just kind of look at loose and then you bump your hand down and it jumps through the little hole. And now it's in the room.
Alright. And then I imagine I'm in the next room over.
I want you to make a sleight of hand check with advantage because you're doing this upstairs and everybody else is downstairs.
Natural 20.
Okay.
So that's...
Well, I guess that's a done deal. The frog's in the room.
So yes.
Okay. As the rest of you go to bed, I need Anna and Marissa to make a perception check. Bran and Alfonso and Caleb, you guys sleep like babies. I mean, the howling the dumped snow actually acts as an insulator. The building seems warmer than usual thanks to Drusilla's constant bonfire refurbishment to just keep that bad boy just as stoked as big as it could be. And man, oh man, you guys are warm. However, Drusilla and Destina, what did you guys get?
13.
13?
17.
17? Destina, you hear it first. You kind of go, what's that? And then Drusilla goes, what? And you explain, listen. And then you hear it too, Drusilla. I need you guys to make a perception check one more time to see if you can find the frog. One of you can make the check with advantage, or both of you can make the check. Your call.
I rolled high. Do you want me to tell you before we
Go
I need
ahead.
you guys to make a decision.
We'll roll separately.
Okay, then Anna, what'd you get?
19.
Drusilla, what'd you get?
I got a 22.
It is underneath Estina's bed.
Okay.
A tiny, tiny frog, which you don't even know how this thing even exists in this place. But there
Do
it
we
is.
get it?
Oh yeah, you catch it. It's like little tiny thing in the palm of your hand. It's
Okay.
It's green and blue. It definitely does not fit in here. It's really weird.
So this frog jumping around like stirred something in me, and the dragon in me is like going nuts. So I hold it up by the leg, and I'm like, "Are you hungry?" And
Are you asking me if I'm hungry?
Yes.
I stare at her and I just go, no, you can have it.
Okay. So I create bonfire a little bit in my hand to cook it.
It twitches, and then that's a terrible thing to do to a poor frog. But you know, it roasts pretty quick.
It would disappear when it died.
Her sorcery.
Puff of smoke, it disappears.
She's
Not
very
reduced to
visibly
zero.
disappointed.
Istana is visibly disturbed.
Make an Arcana check, Marissa.
9.
9. Okay, so with that 9, it is definitely a frog that you realize has been cast to be there.
So I tell Istana, this is a magic trick of some sort.
I look at her and I say, yes, I assumed that when it mystically disappeared.
I was hoping for a midnight snack. Dang.
My condolences. How did that thing get in here again? Do you have any idea?
Well, the door's been locked. No one's been in here that I can tell.
Does it occur to us to suspect the other members of our party, Reed?
I suspect that having known me for at least a week beforehand, you know, I'm a bit of a prankster, especially with my fairy companion.
So I look at Astana and I go, Faye.
Well, I suppose as long as it's just frogs. I mean, it's not like the thing was poison or anything.
That would have been fun.
Considering you were about to eat it, I suspect it would have been more fun for you than for me.
Enough fire, I would take care of that.
All right. From there, you guys all go back to bed. You sleep well, and the very next morning you wake up. As you wake up, the snow is evaporating quickly. There appears to have been about a 4-inch thick layer of snow that has remained and you can see where the wind has scoured it throughout. As you come down that morning, you see the door open as the barkeep is going out to put sacks of grain, some firewood, a broom, and a couple other items outside for everyone to see. And with the broom, he sweeps it away from the front stoop, the snow that's there, and you can see it's rapidly seeming to evaporate into mist. The day isn't quite as cold as it was, and mist is now rising up throughout. By noon, it's misty, but mostly the snow has faded away. The roads are wet, damp with mud, in the lower spots especially, and there is a palpable, permeable, like cold, wet dampness throughout everything, including in the inn, again, once more, despite the bonfire treatment that you continue to bring to the table. However, you start to see people coming out and setting up small bonfires in the middle of the roads. They're setting up little stacks of wood throughout to set up for bonfires, and additional wood here and there. You can hear the sounds of wood being chopped in the distance. As you step outside to see this, you also see some people are now starting. You have people with masks like on tops of their heads and to the sides, and kids are running around with their masks on, boogity, boogity, ah! Scaring each other on purpose, and people are setting up, and you start to see, different pots are set up on tables throughout various different houses to warm what appears to be some kind of drink to drink it that evening. And the barkeep says, you're not going to get a wink of sleep tonight. You might as well go enjoy the festivities of this one. It's not really a festivity, it's more like a precautionary tale, if I were you. Make sure you've got your pots and pans. Or borrow them.
Pots and pans.
And he goes back into the bar and closes the door.
Oh yes, today's mask day.
What I heard was, don't even think about sleeping, you'll be up all night celebrating.
I don't think celebrating was quite what he meant.
I think it was implied. That's exactly what he meant.
You could actually go pick up your brown shirt and cloak today.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go there.
They were right about the snow day. Now it's the party day.
And you do hear some occasional music on what appears to be a mandolin here and there, but it's not like one of those quiet things. It's a loud, jaunty tale, including people yelling at the top of their lungs, and it's anything but quiet as people are doing these things. You see people actually have extra pots and pans on some of the tables where these drinks are at. You see some of the kids are running around, ka-tank, 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 ka-tank. By late afternoon, it's getting kind of crazy. You do get to Harriet's, and you pick up the brown shirt and the cloak. They are well made. Good, solid quality clothing for your request. Tomorrow, the socks will be finished, and day after, shirts and trousers for you. It's dinner.
Thank you. The innkeeper mentioned something about pots and pans. Are you able to explain that?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, anything you can use to make noises to help scare off the spirits of the watchers. it's a good idea, but you got to do it all night long. There's no rest. If you don't do it all night long, they may come spy on you. And if they find that you're, well, not complete, you might not be visited by the White Ladies.
We might not be visited by the White Ladies.
Well, the White Ladies give and they take it away. They give if you've done the right things, they take it away if you haven't.
What if they don't visit you at all?
Well, then you count yourself lucky, period.
I see.
So, make sure you got something to make racket with and wear your mask today. Help scare off the watchers. Because they look where there's the ability to lurk and see things. Well, you get to the idea.
Yes. Thank you for the advice.
Especially if you don't have chores here and you're not part of the land, that makes you especially susceptible.
That's new information.
Well, I mean, how would we know if your chores are done if you're not actually assigned any chores?
Well,
Right.
if you're not assigned any chores, surely all of your chores are automatically done.
Makes
Well,
perfect sense to me.
You enjoy your philosophy, I'm going to do what's going to keep me alive. She doesn't, you can make an insight check if you want, but if you do success, I mean, like, go ahead and make an insight check real quick.
I mean, I believe her, but sure, why not?
The insight isn't whether she's telling the truth or not. The insight in this case tells you that, well, she seems convinced. But that's what you get with a 4.
So, this day isn't just the mask, right? So I have
It's
my
about the
mask
Watchers. You're there to frighten the Watchers away, so they don't spy on you and tell about who didn't finish the tasks. It
But-
gives you an extra day.
on. You're supposed to have a costume with the mask, right?
No, I mean it helps, but you don't have to. Just the mask is all you need.
It helps, though.
Mhm.
So I have glamour armor as my
Glamorous
rare
armor?
magic item.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it into a flashy costume that kind of matches the mask. Butterflies, green.
What are we talking about? Are we like, is your mask? Did your
Like
did
a
your
perform-
armor suddenly become this like nightclub?
No, like a
Or
like
what are we
a
talking
like a
about? Like what's happening?
almost
here?
like a jester,
Yes, please,
like
yes.
like very flamboyant butterfly greens and purples, very Mardi Gras.
your armor suddenly does this, and people are like, whoa! And kids are like, that's amazing, you know. And as you're walking around, you're like this guy. You're like that guy who wears like ridiculously flashy clothing to like a business meeting, and no one can figure out why this guy is doing this.
But
Or
no
the
one
really
wants to
bad
ask.
70s tuxedo to the prom that's white. Yeah, that's you right now. So
That will scare those spirits.
everybody knows who you are. Like you are
Oh.
a flashy man. So got it going on with your mask, which has the cool look that you get with for the mask. It's awesome. Everybody's excited. Anyone else doing anything?
Startle
Just
wants
putting
to
on
go,
my mask.
I'm sorry, Alfonso, what were you doing?
Startle wants to go up to the church.
You're going to leave the party and go to the church?
Yeah. I want to see if Father Donovich made it out with the snow all right.
Okay. So you get to the church and you see a broom outside, a few sacks of grain, and a stack of wood at the front. And you do see tracks going to and from the front door and around the church. In what remains of the mud and the other things there.
Great. That's a good sign. And now I'll return to the party.
Okay. All right. Everyone else, what are you doing?
Hey, Midas is attempting to find a way to put his new mask on over the horns, or rather, between the horn.
So, I mean,
Looks
you have to do this extra thing where you're like putting the string around and doing this other stuff, but then you get it around and it just slides perfectly into place. And you already look pretty terrifying with the horns to everybody else, but now people haven't figured out that some of the people who haven't seen you guys yet before haven't figured out that the horns are not part of the mask yet. They just think you have the coolest costume ever. How much did you pay for those? Did you get that mounted as a whole helmet kind of thing, or people are asking you about your current mask fashion? Do you humor them, or do you what do you do?
I'm going to say I humor them more so point over to the fantastic crafter of just the mask itself.
Harriet's?
Ever to Harriet's.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Give full credit over that direction.
Oh, no, Harriet's one of the better mask makers in town. She's even donated more than a few to the children when she has the coin to do so. I swear, those horns, that's next level right there. I've never seen anything like that. It's amazing. And how did your friend get that giant shell on his back as a costume? I mean, you talk about great. That's amazing.
Doesn't he just stand out?
He does.
Incredible.
And your other friend with the Technicolor green coat there. I've just never seen anything like it.
So I see this going down. I go, well, if the object is to scare, and then I pull my hood down, and I let my bright, flaming hair go everywhere and show my ears, and my eyes are jet black in my mask.
That's amazing! And yet at the same time, hide the children! It's, that's scary. I can't believe it. That's so frightening, and please stay away from it. Yes, we've seen travelers do that before. It never ceases to stop terrifying the hell out of us. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, some other people that you meet after that who don't know that you've just done that shit to scare the hell out of everyone, they offer you the occasional drink of ale, and you start to hear throughout the evening, as things change, the sounds of pots and pans, ding, 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 clink, 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 as sun begins to go down. Throughout the night, everyone starts hooting and hollering, and there you hear the running down the alleyways as everyone starts making noises throughout the streets, throughout the town, inside and outside. Every shadowed corner chased down with noise. Frightening little scary beasts in masks and large adults as well. You see the lights never start to go out. Do you stay up and continue to make noise with them? Or do you go to bed?
I stay up. I'm an elf, so I only need 4 hours of meditation instead of sleep, so...
No, there's no meditation.
Okay.
There's no meditation.
I stay up.
There is attempts at sleep and meditation, which you can do if you want to do a DC 20 perception check to avoid, or a DC 20 Constitution check to go to sleep.
No, I'll stay up.
Okay. All right.
But I'm not making noise. I'm just watching.
All right. Throughout the town all night, you see and hear this, and it doesn't stop. It's throughout the town. You'll hear it throughout, the entirety of the town. You'll hear it more over here at some point, then you'll hear it some over points. It's like as each batch of noise is created, it echoes throughout the area, and more happens. So, each group fuels the other group's sudden increase in noise throughout the town. At the end of it, the sun comes up, and you see a bunch of exhausted people give what appears to be a sigh of relief.
Over the course of the night, could Estena look around the town a bit to see if she can figure out where the Vistani are camped?
They're not in town. Are you
Okay.
going to leave the town to do that?
No.
Okay. So, no, you don't know where they're camped.
All right.
So.
Well, I know they're not in town, so at least it's some elimination.
Yeah, you didn't see any Vistani in town tonight. None.
Yeah.
None. Maybe they slept like babies. I don't know, but no one in town probably slept very well at all if they attempted to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I take my mask off and I'm like, well, another day.
Yeah. So the next morning.
Well, first thing, when dawn happens, I go back to the normal armor. So.
You just have it change back to its normal look?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Boom. No one notices they're too tired.
Yes.
All right. Anyone else doing anything different? Because you are all tired. You are all now suffering from one level of exhaustion.
Can I try to meditate?
No.
Okay.
Can I try to sleep?
It's morning.
So
the sun has just popped up.
we were up all night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The sun has just popped up. You guys have stumbled over to the... Where? The tavern? Harriet's? Where are you going?
We have to pick up our clothes. So might as well stop at Harriet's.
The socks won't be ready till this evening. Or to this afternoon. Sorry.
Very good.
They will be ready today, but it will be this afternoon. We were kind of up late last night, scaring everything away. The watches. You don't want the watches around.
Midas is very supportive in this festivities. Yes, you were.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All night. I'm going to say throughout that night, he was just doing the thaumaturgy yells, trying to create a crowd of his own. Is now very, very hoarse.
So as you're sitting there, the sun starts to rise, and you start to see cries in the distance. They're coming! The white ladies are here! Get inside. Quickly. And you hear that throughout in the distance. And you're starting to hear it whispered throughout the town. They're here! They're here! What do
So I
you
look
do?
around. I look at everybody's like tavern.
As you start to move down the main street back toward the tavern, you look back down the main street and you see at least 3 figures in white robes with white veils over their faces moving quietly. And they stop at each house.
Yeah.
I go, enough of this nonsense. I am not one to run.
Bye, Anne! I go back into the tavern.
Justina goes into the tavern. Anyone else?
Yeah.
It's granted it's a bit odd, but I think we should at least see what they're doing before we flee. Could be more festivities.
I put fire in my hand. It's like, let's end this nonsense.
I'm gonna stay outside with Drusilla.
Okay.
Do we know that? Did they appear monstrous in any way, or did they just appear like normal
They
people?
appear and they're walking down this. They're moving down the street in their dresses and robes. 3 of them. And each time they stop at a house, and then they go across the street and they stop at another house. Sometimes they go down a street that you can't see for a while, and they appear down another one. And it appears they stop, and sometimes you see them stay for a moment and touch some things, and then they step away. And they're getting closer and closer. Do you want to walk toward them? Do you want to walk away? Do you want to go into the inn? Do you want to scream at them? What are you trying to do here?
I go in the middle of the street in front of the inn.
Mhm.
And I just stand there.
Okay. You see the town become a ghost town. There isn't any noise from the town itself. You might hear the occasional chirping of a bird in the distance, but it's quiet. As they get closer and closer, you feel the hair on the back of your neck start to stand up. There's not really a chill in the air, but It's a cold.
I'd head inside at that point.
It's a coldness. As they get closer and closer, you see some of them stop, and they bow their heads and shake. And then they come back up and they go to another place, and they may stop, and you see the one in the middle places something by the windowsill or by the door or on top of the grain of sand, grain of the bag of grain, and move on. As they get closer and closer, you now see them. There are 3 figures indeed, and then you hear about the white ladies are coming down the other street, and there's a few more. And they're behind you too. They're in the town. And as you get a good closer look at them, the sun's just still rising and they're going through the town, and you've spent about an hour watching them just move methodically throughout one part of the town to the other. They're almost translucent. They're there, but there's something almost see-through about them. As they get closer, you see them stop, and what they appear to be doing is placing a coin of some sort on some houses. More houses than not. But occasionally they stop at a house. They shake their head, and they move on. As they get right up to the inn, they look at the inn, and they look right at you. And you can't really see through the veils except the outline of what looks like to be a face. And they place several coins by the inn. And then they move across and around you. You doing anything?
No, I'm just watching right now. See what they're doing.
This continues throughout the day. House by house. Location by location. Over a course of 6 or 7 hours, you see this happen. It's one of the most unnerving things you've ever seen. Ghosts in the daylight. And daylight is relative, because it's still overcast as can be. Except for that one clear day, you haven't seen the sun since directly. Just gray light from above. By the 7th hour, the sun starts to go down. And you no longer see the white ladies in town. You are chilled because you've been standing there this whole time watching it happen. Not interfering, but watching it. What are you guys doing now?
Since I'm cold and exhausted, I go into the tavern.
Anna, what were you doing in the tavern?
I went up to my room. Did our room overlook the street?
No.
Oh, well, I tried to find a window. I tried to find a window that overlooked the street and like watch what was going on from inside.
So you sat there for 7 hours trying to
They
watch
stood there
things
for
as they-
7 hours.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So I get some food and drink and I sit down. Is there anybody with me at the table?
Startle is.
Alceo joined in.
Were you both out there with me?
I was out there.
Yeah, I was out there also.
I come down and join you.
Just sort of that look of evaluating the situation a little differently. The eating.
Well, that was a little odd.
The barkeep steps outside. He appears to bring everything inside. And then he counts the coins. He looks up. There's only 5 coins. There's only 5 coins. looks and steps back from you. Did any of you waste time this year? Have you been lazy? Did you destroy anything like jewelry or artworks or statues this year?
I stare at him and I say, why would I destroy something that I could sell for a valuable coin?
I don't know, but there's only 5 coins and there's 6 of you here with me.
Not many works of art out in the woods.
No.
I mean this year.
And any year.
I destroyed a frog. That was magic.
He looks very perturbed. Very, very perturbed.
And can you explain to us what's wrong? How?
When the sun goes down, the white ladies come back. For those who didn't get coins. Here. Take a look for yourself. He slides 4 of the coins over and he keeps 1 for himself.
Do the coins all look the same?
They do. They're of a strange alloy of silver and other metals never seen before in this realm. But to you, it's electrum. They feature the face of a beautiful maiden on one side and the face of an old, gnarled crone on the other.
Do I know what this is? No.
Never seen anything like it before, but it's symbolic. And just then, you hear a distant sound, a keening wail, the likes of which you've never heard before. Like a blood-curdling scream. You see the barkeep, eyes go wide. He goes, "The sun's gone down. They're coming."
So I put my hood up and I go, we might as well go outside. No use destroying your bar.
I put my hood up as well, since I have the cloak of elvenkind and maybe it'll help me sneak around or something.
I'm going to my room. I wish you luck, travelers. Please do not bring them into this place.
What if... I not that I'm ill-wishing, but what if the missing coin was yours? Will they come for you?
Yes, they will.
We will
Yes, they will.
do our best to fend them off.
We'll see about that. We'll see indeed. And you see him just gather his things and head up to his room. And you hear the loud sound of the clack of the lock on his room door.
I look at Estana and I go, last I checked, spirits couldn't burn.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to see if they bleed. I take out my daggers. I put one in each hand.
20.
Any of the rest of you doing anything?
I'm stringing my bow. I do a little scrape off one of my horns, that wax, and start to rosin up the string as I do so. And I've done a good evaluation on the situation. It may not be as festive as we were told it would be. No one's to fault for believing it, but things might be bad.
Well,
Alfonso,
There was music and wine and revelry.
You know, it's like they lured us in with that, and they led us to believe that everything was safe and fine. And you would be wise to have believed it, not your fault. Whoever may have believed it. Okay.
Alfonso, how are you readying for possible conflict to come?
I put on my skull mask and then put up the hood on my new cloak that I just received.
Okay, so Alfonso is now dressed up like the Punisher.
Yes.
That is so awesome.
And
I'd love to see that.
he starts doing his monk kung fu moves. Readying and flexing, and you're hearing like the neck pop in and out as he goes in and out of the shell and all that other stuff. Turgon, how do you ready?
Torgorn is going to. The coins are still there, right?
4 of them.
Torgon's gonna take one of them and put it in the birdhouse.
Okay. So you put it in, you hear. All right. So now you have a rattler.
I imagine it's like a nice little it falls flat eventually.
Yeah. All right. And anything else?
And then I get ready to fight.
All right. Are you guys stepping outside?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No point in destroying the bar keeps living if it's not him that they're here for.
As you step outside, the mists and clouds are still there. However, there is a full moon shining down. And with that, we will pick up next week to discover what you guys do as the White Ladies are running around town. All right, guys, great play, a lot of talk, a lot of good, setup for everything.
Good
you guys
setup.
did amazing,
Yes.
and I can't wait to see how you guys handle this and who lives or dies. Really quick, starting with Bran, then Marissa, then Alfonso, then Caleb, then Anna. If I could have you guys each, mention where people can find you on social media, on Twitter or Instagram or both, as well as anything else you want to plug for shows that you're on or products that you're a part of. Feel free to do so right now. So, Bran, what do you want to start with?
All right. You can find me at Spirit O the Wilds on Twitter. That would link to what I do with most of my day, which is make nerdy candles out of natural ingredients. If I'm not there, I am generally running a Pathfinder game called Emerald Endings on Terrible Parties channel. Fantastic crew, and I am thrilled to have them.
Awesome. Marissa?
You can find me on Twitter at Captain Valissa. I also play for FantasyFyx, and you can find them on twitch.tv/FantasyFyx, as well as YouTube. And also, I have a website, rosenshadow.com, and you can find my art and jewelry there.
Okay. Alfonso?
All right, you can find me both on Twitter and Instagram at _SundanceSid.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's about it. I don't do anything spectacular as of right now, but keep an eye out. Maybe that'll change.
I think it might. This is your second show you've been on for us, so I think you're getting your feel for it. Caleb.
All right, I'm Caleb. You can find me at Dice Ogre on Twitter. Mostly just art, getting into homebrew and stuff for 5e and other systems.
Awesome. Anna?
Hi, I'm Anna. I normally play the Arcane Trickster Rogue Turgeon Nighthawk on our regular show, Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction, Thursday nights, unfortunately currently on hiatus. And then you can find me on my social media handle, AmberAnna391, over on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.
Awesome. And I'm Reed, and you can find me at Warrior Streak or at Warrior_Streak if you're on Instagram. And I am, on lots of different things here at I'm on Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction as the Dungeon Master, and I'm on the Games Tavern on That Minis Paint Show, and also on the Games Tavern Happy Hour on occasion as well. So feel free to stop by. Thank you so much to all of you guys, and we'll see you guys next week, same time, and we'll find out what happens in 12 Nights in Barovia. Take care, everyone.
Bye.